Lecter, I have some news for you, boy. So get this. A new animated movie involving a cat won Best Animated Feature this year. So I just want to say, congratulations, buddy. Your kind has won an Oscar. So, I do not have an Oscar with me, so... Here you go. You can have my Bloodborne statuette. I won it for beating the Orphan of Kos on my very first try. Okay, well, that's not really true, but it looked really cool. But hey, you rightfully earned it. I love you, boy. Continue to do great in the future. Now I'm gonna go admire the fact that Emilia Perez lost Best Picture. Hey guys, what is up? This is Matt. Today it's me once again. Welcome back to another movie review. This time is going to be on Flow. This was the Academy's choice for Best Animated Feature Film, so I figured why not give it a watch. This movie involves a little black cat who loses his home, or her home, or its home, as a majority of the land has been completely flooded and they are now stranded on a boat with a lemur, a capybara, a dog, and a bird. And throughout the film, they try to get to dry land. And throughout the majority of the film, this movie focuses on the cat, as not only is it trying to survive, but also develops friendships with these animals. And like I mentioned before, this movie won Best Animated Film at the Academy Awards, which actually isn't too surprising given how it won Best Animated Feature at the Golden Globes as well, beating out the most popular animated movies to come out in 2024, specifically the most widely successful ones like Inside Out 2 and my personal favorite animated film of the year, The Wild Robot, which was actually many people's choice for Best Animated Film of the Year. But whether or not this movie was going to win, I wanted to check it out regardless. Because if you know me, I am a massive cat lover, and knowing the fact that this movie was about an animated cat, I just had to watch it, and it is currently streaming on Max. And now, I can answer the question, do I feel like the movie truly deserved to win? Well, in my eyes, it is a big resounding yes. This movie does not have any use of dialogue whatsoever. There are no songs with lyrics. All that there are animal noises. So you have to watch the movie for yourself and get an idea of what exactly the film is trying to tell you in terms of the animals' interactions, because that is how you get the full experience here. Now, it actually is pretty common for movies like this to not have any dialogue whatsoever. There actually have been a good amount of animated movies to come out in this current generation to not have any dialogue whatsoever other than music, such as The Red Turtle, Shaun the Sheep movie, and most recently, Robot Dreams, which I also reviewed on my channel, all three of which were nominated for Best Animated Film. So you really have to focus on the storyline to get an idea of what exactly is going on, and there is a lot that is going on in this movie, as this movie kind of reminds me of the video game Stray, which I reviewed on my channel back when it came out in 2022. It's basically like that, except that game was all about cats. This movie has multiple different animals that, of course, have a major part to the storyline. And the movie has a heavy focus on environmental storytelling. And of course, the show stealer of this entire thing, like I mentioned before, is of course the cat. This is a movie for cat lovers of any kind. And because this movie involves a cat, clearly it was speaking to me. Because I absolutely love cats. As you know, I have a cat of my own. I have been growing up with cats for a really long time, so it's really nice to know that they have an animated movie that focuses on the cat without treating it like, it's a pathetic, low-life pile of garbage that gets beaten around a lot. Because when it comes to cats in movies, there are two types of things I hate when cats are portrayed as in film. Cats that get killed off in horror movies, and cats that are portrayed as baddies in animated movies. And while, yes, bad things once in a while do happen to this cat, it's not in a way that's eagerly offensive. This is a movie made for cat lovers who just absolutely just love cats all around. And not just that, but animal lovers in general. Like, this movie is for dog lovers too, and just all around people who just love animals, because it's definitely a movie that has you caring about the animals despite the fact that they have no name whatsoever. And the fact that we don't hear them make a single peep in terms of, lines of dialogue, but they never needed dialogue whatsoever. It's good that they have no voice actors whatsoever portraying, the animals speaking. I actually connected to the animals in this movie more than the animals in Mufasa the Lion King, and that was based on characters that we already knew about. And when I was watching this movie, when it started up, my cat Lecter, he was just lying on my lap throughout a major part of the movie, and once in a while he'll just crawl up and just walk around while I'm watching the movie. And there are parts of the movie where, bad things tend to happen to the cat, and I just felt so bad, and I got so emotional towards the last act of the film. I was just holding Lecter so tightly because of how connected I was with the storyline. It was absolutely beautiful. And of course, I gotta talk about the animation itself. It is absolutely stellar. And no, do not listen to anybody who says, oh, the animation, it was AI generated. What is this? It's completely AI. No, it is not AI at all. This is from a new source of CGI technology from a program called Blender, with its blend of CGI with color and all these other different types of animation styles mixed into one. And it truly does not make it feel like an AI generated movie, even though for some people that's what it seems. Because we've had animation styles like this before, long before AI has even come out or has become a common thing. Because when people use AI, they just don't want to put any effort. And a lot of effort was put into this movie because despite the fact that it's not a very long movie, it's only an hour and 25 minutes long, though it felt longer than that. And I didn't really mind because I was truly connected with what was going to happen to these animals, especially the cat. And what I love about this movie is, despite the fact that the cat really isn't too familiar with these animals, there are parts of the movie where he doesn't really, or they, or it doesn't want anything to do with most of these animals, especially the dog, because we know how dogs and cats are, but this dog just wants to be the cat's friend. And the fact that, the dog also is far from his own kind, it really had me connected. And the fact that, the cat would soon later grow, friendships with these specific types of animals. And when it comes to, them being stranded on a boat, it kind of reminded me of Ang Lee's Life of Pi, which won him an Academy Award for Best Director. So yeah, the journey is very simple, but the world certainly does a great job of giving you ideas of what exactly happened. Like, clearly this cat had a home of its own, and I just felt bad when it completely lost it. And it really had me connected. I mean, even if the cat didn't have a story, I was going to be connected all around because I'm a massive cat lover, but really, it does a great job regardless. Like, it manages to be so deep, despite the fact that these animals feel like regular animals. They actually aren't, because the lemur, it tends to have these objects that he's grown very fond of, and we also have this bird that has a much bigger part than it would seem. And I'm not going to spoil anything here, but it feels like these animals have far more of a purpose rather than just being regular animals. And the cat, I really love how, the cat tends to learn and face its fears once in a while, because of course there's water. A major amount of water in this movie. So 7.8 out of 10, too much water. Yeah, that's an old meme, but I just had to say it. But of course, most cats hate water, so the fact that, the cat is surrounded by water, it tends to want to survive by, trying to, become a swimmer and, trying to catch fish, because that's a major part of the movie, is that the cat is trying to get fish. And while watching the movie, you might just think, it's just a basic adventure film, but there is so much meaning than you would possibly expect. For a movie with no dialogue, just relying on the animation and the music to give in that storyline, it just really can speak to anyone if you really put your mind to it. And literally anybody can watch this movie. It is completely inoffensive whatsoever. It doesn't tackle, controversial themes or anything like that. And the fact that it's PG rated families of any age can generally enjoy the film. Sure, kids, they can enjoy their minions and their trolls or anything like that, but it's great to watch an animated film that literally anyone of any age can watch without feeling like they're getting a little irritated. And sure, there's no amounts of, laugh out loud jokes, but it never needed that. It's a simple premise done in such a beautiful way, and these people that crafted this film have done such a phenomenal job, and they deserve the pats on the backs they've been receiving, all the awards they've been getting for this film, and of course, the fact that it won Best Animated Feature Film at the Oscars. In the end, guys, Flow really spoke to me, not just due to the fact that it involved a cat, it just hit me on an emotional level without saying anything. It's just like movies like Robot Dreams or Shaun the Sheep, gave me when I watched those movies. Because it never needed any lines of dialogue. All it needed is the story. And as long as you stay connected, it can really tug at your heartstrings. It's a beautiful movie, not just in terms of its animation, but its storyline and its characters, despite having no names whatsoever. They truly won over my heart by the end. It was truly a roller coaster ride, and I wish I watched it sooner. And yes, if you're wondering, it would have made my best movies of the year list if I waited for this one, but I didn't, because I think this movie might actually have been playing in theaters near me. I'm not entirely sure, but if it did, then I completely regret it. This movie is certainly a treat for cat lovers and animal lovers in general, and animation lovers, period. Because it's like Guillermo del Toro said when he won Best Animated Feature for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Animation is cinema, and this movie defies animation being cinema without having, anything, to just keep the viewer, wanting to turn the TV off. It might be a short film, and I complain about runtimes in movies a lot, but I did not want this movie to end. I was kind of sad by the end, but hey, I thought the ending was great, so it makes up for it. And it's nice to know that an animated feature that isn't by Disney is getting recognized more and is getting more of those Oscar wins, because Disney hasn't won a Best Animated Feature Oscar since Encanto. And with their reputation recently, focusing more on sequels and live-action remakes and all that, it's great to know that in 3 years in a row, Disney or any other big major American company hasn't won Best Animated Feature. Remember, Boy and the Heron won over Spider-Man. And I think that's impressive. I know people were pissed off about that, but I thought it was impressive. And that was my personal favorite animated film to come out in 2023. And the fact that, this managed to beat out Disney and DreamWorks is all the more impressive. And I can definitely see why. It's truly a work of art. And by the end of it, my heart was just overflowing with joy. Yeah, I'm serious. I did not have any major problems. Although, I do have one. And that's the logo sequence was 2 minutes long. And that's it. But, now we get into the real question to this entire thing, now that I'm pretty much done talking about it. Do I like it more than The Wild Robot? Because that I also gave a perfect score and was number 2 on my best movies of 2024 list. That cat lover inside of me wants to say I liked Flow more, but I guess in terms of characters, I kind of liked Wild Robot more, but it just depends. I think the animation style in Flow was a lot better too, but there were things I think Flow did better, but there were also things that I thought Wild Robot did better too. But regardless, I really didn't care if this won over Wild Robot, because regardless, both animated movies I think are masterpieces, so yeah, I can't really say. I think both are incredible, and this movie, I definitely see why it won, and the creators definitely deserve to be proud, so yeah, I cannot wait to see what they do next. Now, before I end the video, I actually want to discuss the Oscar wins, because I actually have a lot to say, because I was the ceremony in terms of the wins, I was actually very surprised by. Probably the biggest surprise for me was the fact that Anora actually won Best Picture, and that was my pick for Best Movie in 2024. And that movie swept away with 5 Oscar wins out of 6. Sean Baker alone won 4 Oscars in one night. He went on stage 4 times claiming his wins. He won for Best Editing, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Picture, of course. I was just so happy when it won Best Picture. I hope you're happy, because I was really happy. Knowing the fact that Emilia Perez had 13 nominations, but only won 2. Zoe Saldana for Best Supporting Actress and Best Original Song, which I do not understand why, because I did not like any of the songs in that movie. The only one I can think of that I really remember is the Sex Change Operation song, only because of how stupid it was. Like, here's the thing. My dad does not like musicals. He does not like musicals at all. But he wanted me to bring over my copy of Wicked so him and my grandma could watch it, because my grandma wanted to watch it, so he was willing to watch it with us, and unsurprisingly, he didn't like it, despite the fact that he loves The Wizard of Oz. I mean, who doesn't love The Wizard of Oz? By the end of it, I told him at least you weren't watching Emilia Perez, because you probably wouldn't survive the first 5 minutes. And to prove my point to him, I showed him a clip of the Sex Change Operation song from Emilia Perez. His expression was priceless. I was crying with tears with his reaction. Like, it was so... it's exactly how I felt when I first heard it. Like, he was just sitting there in complete silence while the song was playing, and I just could not hold my breath. Like, I felt like I was gonna die. There was tears down my face. I know, I'm talking about this way longer than when Adrien Brody won Best Actor and his speech went on forever. I know, but I just had to bring that up. But in terms of, other wins that I was surprised by, I was really happy to know that The Substance won an Oscar for Best Makeup Effect. I think that was truly well deserved. And Wicked won Best Production Design and Costume Design, which I wasn't surprised by either, as I had a feeling it kind of would, because the production design in that I thought was absolutely amazing. And no surprise, Dune won Best Visual Effects and Sound Mixing too. And like I mentioned before, Adrien Brody won Best Actor, which I knew, and Best Original Score, which I thought was well deserved as well. So, yeah, in my opinion, I was really satisfied with the ceremony. Though a lot of people were hoping Demi Moore would win. I was kind of expecting that too, but I feel like if it was Carla Sofia Gascon, it would more than likely be very controversial. So at least be happy that she didn't win. But still, it was a lot better than I thought it was. I was worried Emilia Perez was going to sweep away everything just like it did at the Golden Globes, but hey, I'm glad that most of the love was given to Anora, because it was truly deserved. I'm just so happy to know that my picks for Best Movie of each year won 3 years in a row. First, it was Everything Everywhere All at Once, then it was Oppenheimer, and now Anora. So yeah, I figured I might as well discuss that, because, I had quite a bit to say, because, yeah, by the end of it, I was personally satisfied. Yes, I know it wasn't going to please everyone, but then again, the Oscars, they never please everybody. In fact, I don't think they ever will, but I was pretty pleased. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I do highly recommend checking out this movie. Like I mentioned before, it is streaming on Max, though if they do release a physical release, which I have a feeling it will, because this was released by the Criterion Collection, and you know how the Criterion Collection is with releasing Blu-rays. I definitely want to get it if that is certainly the case. So, yeah. Okay, as I am currently editing this, there's one thing about the Oscars that I thought sucked. It's the fact that they left out some other big-name actor deaths or celebrity deaths in the memoriam. Like, where the hell is Tony Todd? What, is Candyman so freaky that they just refuse to, give him a mention? Like, seriously, what is that? I don't even think they did Gilbert Gottfried in the 2023 Oscars, but, like, I don't remember that. Someone can correct me in the comments, but yeah, it's just People have been talking about that. Like that, like they should really like just look at the list instead of just, yeah. I mean, rest in peace to everybody, but seriously, rest in peace to everybody. And they really, yeah, that's the one thing. But yeah, thought I should bring that up before anybody tells me in the comments. Yeah, I didn't forget. I am forgetful, but just as I'm editing, yeah. All right. Yes, I know you like that I'm editing this review for this cat movie, but yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I know there was an unexpected cut right there, but yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and maybe subscribe for more. You can also follow me on Twitter or X or Instagram or Blue Sky. Links will be in the description. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.